Hello, hello. We're back in the Phantom Zone. I fixed up my punching sound effect so it doesn't destroy people anymore. It used to be like, and I was like, well, that's how it is. Just somebody just got punched and it cracked their armor. It's got to be loud.
Skeletor does not do soft punches.
Right. He doesn't pull his punches. He's going for it. All right, so we're going to try to keep this one definitely shorter because there isn't really that much to talk about, but also I'm not feeling well, so it is what it is. Hopefully, we get some people on here before we finish it off. But anyway, we're talking about April 8th SmackDown episode and last night's Raw, which was the 11th of April 2022. If for some reason you're watching this in the year 3000 and you're like, I wonder what happened. What happened on Raw in the women's division on April 11th, 2022? Exactly 100 years ago today, you know?
They've written like books about Becky Lynch and like Charlotte Flair, and they're like, wonder what she was like. Let me see if someone did something on those wrestlers back then.
Right. And let's look for the lowest view count videos just
Yeah.
because we want to show them.
Let,
We're
let,
not going to
let's
go to like what culture and anything. We're just going
no.
to
Let's go to these two guys who five people have seen.
go. That's okay. We're doing it for the love of the sport. We're not doing
That's
it for
right.
the. We're not
The
doing
love
it
of
for
the
the
game.
money. But we would definitely do it better for money. So let's put it that way.
We would bring our A game as opposed to our B game.
Yeah, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Like, and nobody's paying any for anything, so they're not getting anything that great. Um,
Sorry.
Sorry, but okay. So let's get into it. So Ronda came out, and quelle surprise! She wants a rematch.
I never
Oh
saw
my
that
god,
coming.
me neither.
I
Um, I thought she was
Ronda
gonna
has had
retire.
41 matches in the WWE as of WrestleMania. This is total. This is dark matches, house shows, dark matches, blah, blah, blah. She's lost three times. She lost a
Wow.
tag match, and it was her and I think it was Natalia lost. It was a random like Raw when she was a heel, and I'm sure she wasn't the one pinned.
Right.
The triple threat match, which she was not pinned, and Charlotte Flair's WrestleMania match with her, where she was pinned
Wow.
for like I think the first time.
That's
41
crazy.
matches, she's lost three times, and we're talking like who cares house shows.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like so,
Um,
her only the real legitimate loss was this recent one. That's like
yeah,
what I would call like a loss.
so she wants a rematch, and of course she wants an I Quit match
Right.
because she doesn't want any tomfoolery with referees and stuff. And of course, Charlotte Flair came out with her enormous eyelashes that literally, when she blinks, she actually touched me when she blinked.
Yeah,
The
it's like
eyelash like with
it's attack.
my nose. And she's like, I'm not having a rematch. You get to the back of the line. And Charlotte Flair's promos are starting to creep into that. You're really starting to get annoying territory. Like, usually it's pretty good, but now it's like, you pinned her. Why are you all like, no, no, I'm not wrestling you again?
Yeah. And it's these like I don't know what's going on with her in. I'm pretty sure Alexa Bliss just got married, unless I'm seeing weird posts on Instagram because like I'm on her Instagram and it's like she's posting all these wedding pictures of her. I'm like, did you just get married? I don't even know if that's we can.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're all over the place. I can't go to Instagram to share my screen on here. But yeah, it's crazy. It's like I'm seeing tons of wedding pictures and everyone's there celebrating. I'm like, I guess she got married or something. That's why we haven't seen her. But we'll talk about that because I noticed that after. But yeah, so the I Quit match, Ronda's gonna win that for sure. Then I think they're not gonna make Ronda say I quit. So I mean, Backlash. Does Backlash usually does it is it like whoever lost wins or not necessarily?
Not necessarily. It depends. It depends on the push that the wrestlers are getting. Not everything is a rematch, though, as we'll talk about a bit later. But no, I don't think it's a given. I think there are some times when it was because you had Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels, and then at Backlash, Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels, and then
Right.
Michaels won one, Kurt Angle won one, and then they had the rubber match at the next one, I think. Um, so that's pretty good when you get 3 pay-per-views worth of content. I think that's what WWE would like to have mostly.
Right.
But no, I don't think it's a given that Charlotte will win just because or that Ronda will win just because Charlotte won at WrestleMania.
Right.
Just based on the nature of it and who the competitors are, I find it hard to believe that Ronda wouldn't win over Charlotte in the I Quit match.
Yeah, I mean, I know we guessed wrong on WrestleMania, but I mean, they're not going to have Ronda say I quit. That's like super not happening.
The only way you do that is the same way The Rock beat Mankind in an I Quit match where he recorded him and played the recording.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because when does Mankind ever quit? Mankind threw himself off the top of a cell.
Yeah, you
When
have to
is he saying
die.
I quit?
Yeah, I
Never.
wonder if they would do something like that where like maybe Charlotte is like knocked senseless and then can't speak or something, and then what
Yeah.
would happen there? Like they could get out of it. They could
Yeah.
have Ronda lose. That would be. I think that would be might be more interesting if somehow something happened and Charlotte was knocked out and it's like she can't speak and it's like, well, what do you do at this point?
Yeah.
And then and then she just Ronda wins, but Charlotte didn't say I quit. That would be very interesting.
Yeah.
Um, and it's like, what do you do? That would add another layer to the story. So it's like Ronda, I beat you at Mania. I never quit. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
you can't do anything to me. You can't. You literally can't do anything to me.
Yeah.
That would be kind of interesting. Now that that we're thinking about that. Okay, so yeah, I mean we'll have to see how that goes. They had Raquel Rodriguez. So I don't know this person. Is this from NXT or something? Is she from
I think she is. I don't know if it was Raquel Gonzalez in NXT. For some reason I thought. Yeah. Yeah. Joe, you're right. Like
Yeah, no, no,
there's no
yeah,
way she loses that. There's no
yeah.
way.
So Joe, what do you think? We were speculating. What if something happens and Charlotte is like unconscious and cannot say I quit? How does that work? I don't know if I've even seen that before in any wrestling match. So I wonder what would happen. That would be kind of neat. It would be kind of an interesting angle. Then Charlotte would be like, I never quit and I beat you fair square in Mania. And you're like, and Ronda's like, oh, what am I going to do? I can't do anything to her, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I think the name was Raquel Rodriguez is the name
It,
that they
it is. I thought it was for some reason. I thought it was Raquel Gonzalez or something else, but it's Raquel Rodriguez. The first thing is she's a rather tall girl. If you saw her standing next to the interviewer
shit,
now,
she's awesome.
yeah,
She's like she's enormous.
she's enormous, and you got the whole thing where raising the mic up, and yeah, it's like, sir,
It's like she'd be off the screen in
yeah,
in my stream here, and then those two Latin guys came over there. Oh, we gotta get a kiss,
Los
and then
Lotharios,
yeah, and she's like, no.
yeah. I'm guessing she's a face. The
Yeah,
fact
she'll have
that
to
she
fight
said
Rhea
no,
Ripley because Rhea Ripley is gonna turn evil
yeah,
this Friday, right?
either her or Liv. Just
I don't know. Liv is too cute. She can't be
I
evil.
know,
Even if
I know.
she's evil, she's not. Like I was watching some old videos. I'm like, no, you're not a villain. Plus, if you watch her on any of her socials, she's like super excited about life. It's like it's just is like she doesn't look like villain material. It's like
She
what
did.
is she gonna
She definitely doesn't. The only way she'd be able to pull it off is if she pulled an Alexa Bliss and went heavy makeup and
just went
start
crazy
acting
or
weird.
whatever?
Yeah.
But yeah, this Raquel Rodriguez, holy crap! So her and Rhea Ripley, that'd be like the match of matches, man. It's like
or her and
you know,
Charlotte.
her and Charlotte. Yeah, that'd be yeah. No, so I hope this. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so she's so Gonzalez. So Steve, that's
Yeah, I thought so.
NXT, WWE.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, he's
that's
got events.
right. Okay, Austin Theory has just scared with Theory now.
Austin
Yeah,
Theory has to be just
Theory.
now. Yeah.
I like this angle of Austin Theory being Vince McMahon's little like boy toy or whatever he is to him. I don't know. Vince McMahon is outrageous. It's just like the most outrageous human being. Like he walking like my buddy used to say he walks like a GI Joe or
Yeah.
something. It's like a it's like a he's walking all weird.
His knees don't bend.
Yes,
I don't understand. His knees don't bend.
I gotta get a GIF of him and
Yeah.
put that in my repertoire here of or my.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to this Raquel Rodriguez. That's for damn sure. I like when
Yeah.
there's like a big, huge like woman that like destroys people.
Yeah.
So she's awesome. And then there was Lacey Evans. Now Lacey Evans has been around before, right?
Lacey Evans was one of those ones. She came in as a heel, and then she inexplicably turned babyface, and it didn't really work well. And then she turned villain, like heel again, and she was with Ric Flair for a while, and they were playing up this whole thing. Charlotte was a face at that point. One of the few times Charlotte Flair's been a face, and they were playing up that Ric Flair and her had a relationship, and they had to 86 it because Lacey Evans was legit pregnant, so she had to go on maternity leave, and I guess she gave baby. The one thing that I find interesting about this is that they're now doing the promos with her that they always should have done if they wanted to make her face. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, Joe. It's this is something where they're beefing up the women division, which is something they've needed to do because they've been running up the same 8 wrestlers for the last like 4 months or
Oh,
whatever.
I mean, I've seen because I've only started with the Rumble. Let's call the Royal Rumble as my starting point. 2021 Royal Rumble. That's my starting point. My
You mean 2020?
re-entry.
Yeah,
Whatever.
22.
I mean, I'm sorry, 2022. Whatever the what was the Rumble? January
Yeah,
or February? Yeah,
20,
whatever.
20, yeah, January.
So 2022. So that Rumble's my start. Now I don't know when I left. I've seen every WrestleMania, but me like sitting down and watching every night, every pay per view, that has not been around for like 20
20
years.
years. 20
Yeah,
years, man.
20 years. But up until let's say WrestleMania 20, I never missed anything.
Yeah.
And then in between that, I only watched the manias. And then now I'm like back to watching everything, and I'm getting into some of the men's stuff as well, but I don't want to talk about the men's stuff because I don't want these streams to go on forever. This is just like a quick, plus the women plus I do find the women's division more interesting legit anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like this Lacey Evans, this Marine story. I think that was a good, I mean, if she was pregnant, she's looking pretty damn good for someone
Yeah.
who's just pregnant then or whatever.
Well,
'Cause
she's a
Ronda's a little bit, Ronda's not as fit as she was.
right.
Becky Lynch is like, whoa. This Lacey Evans is like a woman's like, man. She looks like she's like a marine. A marine.
Well, I mean, she became a face, and it was just abrupt, and it was just because they never did anything with like they didn't really tell her story to like why am I behind her now? They did say she was a Marine and she was a proper lady and blah 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 blah. But like this is finally giving people a reason to get behind her. Now, I think she works better as a heel personally, and I think she could have used a Marine story as a great heel basis, which is saying I'm a superior athlete to you. Like, and she could go to Charlotte Flair even if you wanted to do a face turn on Charlotte Flair and say, you keep calling yourself the opportunity and natural selection is your finisher, but like I am the superior athlete. I'm a former Marine. I'm the superior. Like my nickname for her would be the superior Lacey Evans. Superior as in the Marine thing, and then she is a superior athlete.
Right.
And that would work great, right? But I guess they're going to make her a face. They're going to do the whole, I grew up hard, and then I went into the Marines, and everyone gets behind the Marines because it's the armed forces. They're there to protect citizens of the country, so automatically everyone's
Yeah.
on the side of the Marines. So yeah, I'm very interested to see what they do with her, because she walked out as a heel and she's coming back as a face, and they're going back to her story and finally telling it, like 5 years later. Like, I don't know if you know, but she was arrested in Canada for speeding. And even on her Instagram, she was a heel. She was like, oh, this country, you get
Oh,
caught
she made fun of
speeding.
Canada.
Yeah, she's basically like
We
distant. She's like, I
forgive
can't
you.
wait to go back to the States, where they have proper, like, driving, like speed
Oh my
limits and
god.
stuff. I understand miles, not kilometers, sort of thing.
Oh yes, yes. They're
Um,
both on they're both in every car. You get both. But
yeah,
anyways.
yeah, I know. But
Oh, we
she,
forgive her. It's okay. You can make fun of Canada. We forgive you. We're
but she
pretty
got a
forgiving.
legit speeding ticket, and she sort of played it up kayfabe,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
like in her character. So I was just
So that's smart.
Yeah, but I was just because, and then she turned face like not long after. I'm like, what happened to the whatever? Vince
Well,
being
I
Vince,
mean,
as Joe said.
so this is my first exposure to her. So I think, like, she seemed pretty cool. So if you could still use the superior athlete thing and you go against Charlotte, because I don't know, Charlotte to me just can't, like, Liv can't be a heel. Charlotte can't be a face. It's just too weird.
She
Like,
she she made it work. Surprise! Like, they put her with Asuka as her tag team
oh
partner,
yeah, yeah.
and it was super good because Asuka was going for the tag belts,
Where is
and
Oscar?
she just went off in Japanese at whoever it was, and then Charlotte was just nodding like this, and then Asuka finally finished, and she's all like wise eyed and all, or eyes wide and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and Charlotte's just like what she said. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, like Oscar's awesome. Like, where the hell is she? Like, where are these people?
But let's not use our people we're paying, because we just like to pay people to do nothing.
I know. Okay, Evans has the size.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
let's see what they do with her. I'm intrigued. So 2 new people. I'm intrigued. Let's see what they do with them. My God, I was gonna wear Liv today, but I wore Alexa Bliss because it just was closer, and I had forgot I was wearing like a generic shirt. I'm like, what am I doing? I need to get a wrestling so quick. So I just ran and grabbed 2 seconds before we went live. I just grabbed the first shirt, and that was Alexa. Sasha Banks versus Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan won. I'm watching this at night, and this was SmackDown. So what time does SmackDown air in Canada? I think that's 8 Eastern.
Yeah, I think so.
So I don't know when this match happened. I usually around 9:30 we start to like get ready because my wife gets up super early, so she likes to get to bed a lot earlier because she wants to make sure that she's asleep, because if she doesn't get to sleep before like 10 or so, it's hard for her to sleep. And I'm just like, Liv won. And I was like, what am I? And I'm like, oh my God. And literally, I was like, kind of half-assing this match. I'm like, yeah, well, Sasha's got this. And I'm like, Liv Morgan won? What am I going to do? I have no notes. I'm like, what? I didn't do anything. So I was so happy. I was like, yeah. And then I thought Liv would win last night, but whatever. So I don't know what the hell happened there. And I'm thinking, well, this is really smart.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss. Not Bliss. Oh, no, I said Bliss. Did I say Bless?
You might have said Bless. I don't know.
Could be my Canadian accent.
Yep.
Yeah, Bliss. Just Joe, do you know if Alexa Bliss got married? Because there's a lot of wedding shenanigans on her.
Unless she was at
Instagram.
Carmela's wedding, because
It looked
that
like
was this weekend.
Yeah, but it looked like she was the bride, and I don't follow Carmella on any of her platforms or what on any of her social media. But I do know it's Bliss. It should say it on here. Does it say it on here? Oh, it doesn't say her name on here?
No.
That's weird. Anyway. Hey, J-Man and J-Man, what's going on, dude? What's your icon? What is that?
Yeah, I was looking at that the last time J-Man came on.
For some reason, I thought it was the box holding the gremlin. Remember the poster with the
Yeah.
hands holding the box with little Gizmo kind of peeking out, but I don't think that's. I don't think that's what it is.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it's a tooth. Nice.
A
A
Galadon tooth.
Galadon tooth.
Oh,
Okay,
damn.
well.
That's awesome.
Okay. Yeah, so I can't believe it. So I'm
Yeah.
not sure what was going on there. I was stunned. I can't. I don't know. I have no notes because I didn't think anything. I thought Sasha's just gonna kick the crap out of her.
I thought what would happen was, first of all, for some reason this match, I'm like, these two are going to tear it apart. They screwed up. I think it was the angles, because there were some hits where you saw it was botched or that they clearly missed.
Yeah, this was not a great performance for
No.
anybody.
And it was disappointing
Liv's
because
performance last night was much better.
oh yeah,
Like
way
that
better.
double
But
kick and stuff. But like this was just like not good. I don't know.
No.
And these are two ladies who are not. They didn't just come out of the cotton fields,
Yeah.
as they said in.
Yeah.
They're
They're not crap.
In what's his name in Beverly Hills Cop. It's like, yeah, he's like, I didn't just come out of the street from the cotton fields or whatever. It's like, these are like, you know, heavy duty hitters. Like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I chalk it up to like they got in too close, tight on some of the moves, and you could clearly see they weren't hitting each other.
Mm-hmm.
Or they just missed. There was some weird botches, and the camera work still, and even last night there was something that happened. And I'll talk about when we talk about that. When I saw it, I'm like, you should not have shown that from that angle. But this for some reason the match just wasn't good. I did like the ending because it was unforeseen and it was sort of explainable. Because I hate these surprise roll-ups. Like everyone uses a surprise roll-up. It's no longer a surprise roll-up.
It's not a surprise anymore.
But I figured what they were doing was trying to pump up Liv, because when you put Liv against Rhea Ripley, you're like, Rhea Ripley's going to kill her. Size advantage, Rhea Ripley. Strength advantage, Rhea Ripley.
Yeah,
and Rhea Ripley,
crazy.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley is a monster. Like Rhea Ripley can go toe to toe with Bianca Belair. So
those are two monsters. Yeah,
you need to pump up Liv Morgan to give us any indication that there's a chance in hell she'll beat Rhea.
Yeah, I think they got to do Liv like. She's not Bret Hart, but bear with me. I think they need to do a Bret Hart style with her.
Yeah.
Where Bret Hart would fight people that are way, you know, like Yokozuna or something.
Yeah.
But he had sort of this credibility because it's like, well, he's got the technical moves down where he could flip someone or grab an arm or a leg or twist someone. So there's a chance that Bret Hart could beat, you know, Big Show or something, like some weird crazy, you know, because he beat Yokozuna a few times, right? It's like he had just like credibility to him. They need to turn Liv into something like that where it's like, yeah, she's small, but she's crafty. She can figure out ways to win. And then that gives her some sort of an edge because like Rhea Ripley just is too crazy. Like she'll just beat up, you know, like she might be able to beat up some of the smaller men, right? I got, you know.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. She was not able to be there.
And I thought something was weird because I got confused because I wasn't sure if that was supposed to be on SmackDown or Raw.
Yeah,
so
it was supposed to be on Raw.
So that was supposed to be Raw. So see that got I don't have my. I was trying to go back to my last week's notes, but I literally just cleared my notebook. So yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah.
So there you go. So what's gonna happen? Is that match gonna happen now or what?
It has to happen. Rhea's going to be there, and Rhea's going to She's got to turn heel. You now got Raquel Rodriguez and Lacey Evans both coming back, set up as faces. So you're running out of heels. So you need to turn someone heel, and it's got to be Rhea, because you've already set it up. And Rhea has been a heel in the past, right? Like with her look,
for sure, yeah.
With her look, she can go.
Yeah, she could be a heel. So I'm looking at her. I'm just looking at her Instagram right now. Yeah, there isn't anything new.
Yeah, there's something going on with her.
Yeah, the last post of a photo was when they were the Bat and Cat. So I don't know. That's weird. Also, I don't know how to work this. I don't want her story. I just want to see her posts. But yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so there really isn't anything new there. Like everyone else is posting stuff all the time.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that we'll see Rhea at some point. But
Hey, Skeptic, what's going on?
She's injured. Hey, Skeptic.
We'll talk. Skeptic wants to do a Batman thing. It'll just be the four of us. It'll just be Skeptic, me, Steve, Sean. Like just the four of us doing the four Batmans, the Tim Burton era.
Okay.
So we're gonna figure something out for that. That won't
the
be
Tim Burton and the Joel Schumachers.
Yeah, and that won't be a '90s comics thing because I really want to keep that just Sean and myself, and I really want to keep wrestling just you and I. So we'll just do a special stream. And I'm good to talk about the Batmans. I just watched Batman Forever last night just for no reason. Too many questions. Okay.
Too many questions.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Alexa Bliss. We're not sure if she's got married or not for real. I don't know.
I'm just gonna look that up now while you're looking.
Yeah, look it up. Go ahead and look it up. I'm telling you, I can't show you. I can't. It doesn't translate well with my HD camera here because of the way it. My camera does like that kind of fish angle.
Mm.
It doesn't like. Where's Alexa Bliss here? Alexa Bliss, here we go. I mean,
they were married on April 9th in Palm Desert, California.
I told you. Yeah.
Why is everyone getting married at the same time? Like, this like.
No, I'm telling you, her entire Instagram is like, oh, pictures and dances. I'm like, what is this? And it's like she looked like the bride. So there you go. That's why she's not on there. Okay, so I was right. I mean, but they never. It's not like Carmella where they're using that as an angle and everything, right?
Well, it's because Carmella is married to another wrestling personality where Alexa Bliss's husband is a musician.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
And he probably is like, I'm not appearing on wrestling shows because I'm on tour or whatever.
Right. Okay. Well, we had Liv versus Naomi. That was a better match. Like that kick where they both better. And like friggin' she got her like pretty good.
Yeah, like they did a smart move of them countering each other's moves all the time and to show how evenly matched they were, which was really good. I think the only botch was there was something where Liv was supposed to like roll up Naomi, and you saw Naomi literally flipped herself to get into that position, and I'm like,
and she did. It was weird too because Liv didn't really like.
She didn't grab her.
Chance, there's no chance of her pinning that with that. Like,
yeah,
it's like that was weird. It's like no, like
no, like Liv's hands were not around her.
We're not there. Yeah,
she was just sitting there like this, and like Naomi flipped herself, and it's like, I'm like, she's not holding her. How are you even counting?
Yeah,
yeah, that was bad. But everything else was great.
Wow.
That's crazy, man.
Okay. I mean, and the power bomb was kind of cool. Naomi reverses the thing and wins. It was just like, okay. It was a bit of a weak win, but
well, it didn't make any sense based on the fact that she beat Sasha Banks.
Right.
So and then she lost to Naomi.
Can beat Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Like this is what nerds think about when we see this, right?
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. She beat her. But she beat her, so she's better than her, right? Like,
yeah,
that was weird. Right. I thought Liv would beat them both, and then you'd be like, wow, Liv beat both of them on their own. So maybe when they get this tag match going, it'll be something a little bit more, interesting. But then what would happen is, of course, Liv would get pinned, Rhea would get pissed off, and then that would be that.
Yeah,
right?
that's the way that to do it. How I would book it is Liv beats Naomi, Liv beats Sasha, Rhea and Liv get in, Rhea gets pinned by one of the two. Liv's like, I beat both of my own. Why? And you got pinned. Rhea snaps and beats the ever living hell out of Liv. That's how I would have done it.
Yeah, that would be smart. I like that a lot. That's not happening, but
no,
it doesn't
because Naomi won. So now it's like Rhea, like no one can get pissed off because it's like I don't like. Let's say this again. Sasha Banks is the bigger star of her and Naomi. That's not a slam on Naomi because Sasha Banks is a bigger star than most of the women.
Oh, for sure.
In there. But you had it shocking that Liv Morgan beat her, Sasha Banks. I don't care if you say it's a fluke or whatever. 1, 2, 3, they called it Liv's biggest win of her career. They said it like twice or 3 times when it happened. And then she lost to Naomi clean. I don't like that booking makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I don't get it. And the thing is, when I was in those 20 years where I wasn't into watching the wrestling, I just watched the WrestleManias. I knew Becky Lynch. I knew I knew Ronda Rousey because I knew Ronda Rousey. But forget that. I knew Charlotte Flair. I knew Becky Lynch. I knew Sasha Banks. And I knew Sasha Banks without paying attention to what was going on in wrestling. Like, I just knew her because I'd see the Manias like, oh, this person's big. And usually when they would talk about women's wrestlers, they would mention her name. So I was like, okay, so she must be someone pretty important because I'm not following wrestling and I still know her.
Yeah.
Naomi, it's like whoever that is, right? Like,
Yeah, Naomi's a good wrestler.
No.
Which shelf skeptic? There's like a million.
They're not gonna break.
If they would have broken, they would have done it by now.
Yeah, I won't allow them.
No.
So yeah, that was a bit weird. I don't know. And then we had this Queen Zelina, don't turn away from the television versus Bianca. And it's like, KOD. It's like, okay. Like, what was the point of that? I don't even know what that... Well, I know what the point of it was, is to have Sonya Deville come out. But, like I don't know what... Like, you always have to think... Like, the problem is you always have to think about what's happening. You're like, okay, Bianca Belair is going to win this, obvious. But Queen Zelina needs to move forward as a competitor. So it can't... It needs to be like maybe Queen Zelina does a couple of cheating tactics and almost wins, and then Bianca pulls out the winner. Like, whoa, because Queen Zelina got pretty close there. What the hell happened? Oh my God, this was almost an upset,
Yeah, I've never understood the whole idea of not having the realistic heel. Where if I'm Queen Zelina, I'm in the ring with Bianca Belair. I'm not looking... Like, what I would do is I would have Queen Zelina get out of the ring, grab a steel chair, run into the ring, and just pulverize Bianca Belair with it. And then you get DQ'd. And then it's like, you go to Queen Zelina and the interview's like, oh, why did you do that? She's like, listen, Bianca Belair does this. She's the roughest, fastest, strongest. Yeah, but I'm the smartest.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's one EST that she ain't.
She is not. Smartest. Right, exactly. And then you have a no-holds-barred match between Queen Zelina and Bianca Belair, which evens the field. And again, we watch wrestling for 2 reasons. A, the competition.
Yeah.
And B, what would happen. Right? Who would win?
Yep.
So at this point in time, Queen Zelina has zero ability, in my mind, to be matched in a match with Bianca Belair. None.
Right.
So I don't get it. Like, I don't get if this is why, remember they had the Authority and like Triple H was running things and he would make unfair matches. It's like, oh, you're going against these 3 guys. I would go in with a weapon and I would just smash them all. And it's like, you can't do that. You're suspended. It's like, okay. And then I would hit
The
Triple H.
guy
Like,
who, right.
I don't know why they never went with the smart. What would a smart person do? They never do that.
Yeah, it's not. They never do the scream thing, where
Yeah,
it's like the teenagers in this movie have seen other horror movies. Like all
yeah,
teenagers love horror movies. Yet when they're in a horror movie, they've never seen them. Right,
right, right.
right. It's like, yeah, like has Queen Zelina never seen wrestling before? Like,
Yeah,
you know what? With that chair thing, she could have come in, grabbed chair, beat the crap out of Bianca Belair, and then while Bianca's laying there, put the chair like at her neck and
yeah,
put the and sit
yeah,
sit like with it on her neck, cross her
yeah,
legs, and be like, "I'm the queen," It's like
yeah.
whatever. And then I'll be like, "Oh man, like make her." I like Queen Zelina. I think she's kind of cool. Her action figure looks cool because I like her like wardrobe and everything. I like
Yeah,
that hair. I think she looks cool. Man, do something with this. Like like make her like really nasty.
yeah,
And then be like, whoa, and then yeah, and then Bianca's like, whoa, what the shit was that?
yeah,
It's like, well, what do you think you are? You think you can be so you beat me up with a chair? That's your big plan? And it's like, well, I'll see you at Backlash, and we'll see what happens there, right?
yeah,
Something like that.
yeah.
Ronda because she wanted to be Sam. Oh, that would be interesting.
That would work. C minus to get horny. C.
Oh no, that's he's just saying A for this, B for this, C for this. Wasn't like that before. It's definitely more of that now, I suppose. But the thing is that there's way more talent too.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
true.
so Sonya Deville comes out. Now this was spoiled for me because I also follow Sonya Deville, so I already saw that before I watched. I wasn't on. I was just on a stream last night on Clobbering Times talking about Batman versus the Hulk, the big Treasury edition.
Yeah.
It's an amazing story. And they fight the Shaper of Worlds, who's teamed up with the Joker,
Oh man, I love
which
the
is
Shaper
like
Worlds.
which is like crazy. Anywho, and so I watched that. I recorded. I PVR'd it. So then I'm watching it on PVR or whatever. But in the morning, I checked. I always check my Twitter and all that. I'm like, oh crap! Like Sonya Deville comes out, and I'm like, and she's hitting Bianca. I'm like, I guess that's gonna happen, and then that did happen. But see, that is okay for Sonya Deville to do it that way. I thought that was very funny. Like, here, just sign this contract. You want to fight someone? Sign it up. It's like, yes, me. Oh my God. Like, but they could have done something with Zelina first. Like, what are they going to do with her now? Like, she's just going to be the one that comes out and loses every week. That's going to
Jobber.
be her.
She's
She's
just
going
gonna
to be
be
a
a jobber
jobber.
now.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it's a missed opportunity again. It's WWE not taking advantage of their talent, just booking for the sake of booking. You don't need to
Yep.
make Bianca look strong. She looks strong. You just make Queen Zelina look weak. Now I'm like, why is she even queen?
Right.
But it was great. Sonya did that. She mentioned a lot of people who could compete against Bianca Belair, and she included Alexa Bliss.
Yep. Yep.
So
Recently
I'm like,
returned.
oh, she's still around. You're mentioning her.
Yep.
Um, is Sonya Deville a match for Bianca Belair? Probably not.
No.
Um, you need in order for this to work, you need the devious Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville has to be the one who says, look, I can't take on Bianca Belair face to face. Look what she did to Queen Zelina. So I'm going to do sneak attacks. I'm going to play it smart. Like, it's one of those things like what Mr. Perfect would do when he would walk up with someone and he couldn't do it. He'd get out of the ring and walk around
Yep.
and try and think this through. You've already established that Bianca Belair cannot be overmatched physically unless we're talking about someone like possibly Rhea Ripley. Right? That's the only person who may have a shot.
Right.
So you now need to have the smart heel, the
Well,
devious heel.
Sonya Deville can make this a character. Like, okay, so they meet. Is it they're meeting at Backlash, right?
Yeah.
So they're walking into the ring. Sonya Deville comes out, Bianca comes out, and they're about to hit the bell, and Sonya Deville grabs him. Like, whoa, whoa, what's happening here? What's going on? And Bianca's like, well, we're gonna have a match. She's like, you really need to find someone who can read if you can't. But the contract you signed says that your hair has to be tied up in a bun, and you can't have, or something, right? It's
Yeah.
like, or your hair is supposed to be tied around your arm or something. It's like you did read that, right? Didn't you go back and read, something like that? And then it's like, what? It's like, well, that's, well, you can't. This is what stipulation was that? It's like she signed it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
to start messing with her mind and all that, right? And it's like, oh, the stipulation is that you have to, like, or even if it's like 1, 2, 3 and Bianca Belair wins, it's like, you won, and then Sonya Deville gets upset. She's like, what do you mean you didn't win? I didn't quit. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, the contract says in order for you to win, I have to quit, but I can pin
Right.
you. Like, man, I would Sonya Deville. I would make Sonya Deville the most irritating, like heel of all time. Like, she's super smart on everything. Like, it's like, and it's like there's contracts within contracts, and there's like a hidden. Remember in Heather's where they're all signing for the
Yeah.
end, and then he peels the thing off. And
Yeah.
it says it was like a suicide pact.
Yeah.
And it's like and then you see behind the scenes footage of her peeling away. So you're like, oh, there's a stipulation. Like, I mean, you got to make her super irritating where you're like, what the shit? And so then what the appeal to that is that every time Sonya Deville has a match, the audience is like, I wonder what kind of crazy ass thing she's going to come up with, like
Yeah.
what kind of weird stipulation. Oh, you can't have your shoes on or something. It's like, well, you got to wrestle
But
both, like weird things like that, right?
I would use something they already mentioned and they haven't used again, which is I would have her bring out Adam Pearce and say, Adam, is it not a fact that when I'm wearing this jacket, I'm a WWE official? And have him say, yes, Sonya, like you've mentioned it. So if I'm wearing this jacket and I'm in the capacity of being a WWE official, I can't be, if someone hits me, they're going to be suspended or stripped of their title.
Right.
And
And
he'd
she
be
wrestles
like,
in that coat.
right. So but she's not allowed to hit. So she uses
Right.
it as a strategic advantage. Like she has it at hand, and like Bianca's chasing her around while she's trying to get to the jacket. Right?
They can do that,
Something.
right? They got to
Something.
like they got to make her the queen of like of like the messing with people,
Yeah.
And it's like, like Bianca or someone, so ex opponent comes out and getting ready to fight. It's like, no, we're not fighting it. You're supposed to be blindfolded. This is a
Yeah.
blindfold match. It's like, but only you're blindfolded and I'm not.
Not. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, like I mean, there's so I mean, I could do endless crap with her, right?
Well,
Like, it'd be so easy.
what was the genius of the $1 Million Man? You didn't know who he bought off.
Right, it'd be like the referee just wouldn't count, right? You're
Yeah.
like, what happened? Oh, he bought the referee. It's like, okay, he
Yeah.
bought this guy. He bought
Yeah.
Andre the Giant to fight for him. Like,
Yeah.
he bought a win. It's like, okay, what the hell is that, right?
Yeah.
Joe, Sonya's a good challenge for Bianca. A backlash, usually the champ is favored in first pay-per-view title,
Yeah.
so Sonya can take it. Yeah, that's for sure. But in wrestling, it doesn't matter who truly wins. Depends on the big bosses and contractors, right? Well, no, you're still selling merchandise. Merchandise is a big thing. Popularity. You need to either be truly, truly hated or truly, truly loved. If you're in that middle ground, like, you need the boos or the cheers. It doesn't matter which one it is. If everyone despises you and boos you all the time like crazy, that's great, because then you can use that character to pump up other guys. So there's like all these wrestling terms which I don't even use because there's all the lingo like put guys over and stuff like that. Like, I don't use any of these terms. I mostly just talk in like generic people terms. But so skeptic, like, if everyone hates the villain, they'll make the villain win sometimes, because then that gives a challenge for the up and coming hero of the event or whatever, and they play out these storylines. So think of it like a comic book, and then there's these pay-per-views, which this is where the story will conclude usually, and then in the next pay-per-view, in between that, another story will come about. So it's really just theater. You're watching a play with a lot of action, and that's why I don't see it as like, is this like a fake, or does it matter who wins? Well, it matters who wins in the same sense as, does it matter if Spider-Man, defeats the villain in the movie? Like, if Spider-Man defeats the villain, that matters. So it does matter, even though it's scripted. It's the same thing. It's like Batman defeats. Well, in this case, Batman doesn't defeat the Riddler, but let's pretend he was the Riddler one. So in the Batman movie, the heel one.
Yeah, he did. No,
I
no,
don't
generally
think so,
not.
man. No way.
Yeah, 47, and that was
And
close.
Lita's like an anomaly who
Yeah.
happens to just still be pretty good. No, not really.
The only thing is the man can't move any. Well, he's retired now, but he
He's
couldn't
retired
move
now.
anymore. At the end, it was painful to watch him. Um, People didn't give the Undertaker, well, especially when he was younger, we didn't give him enough credit for how amazing he is in the ring, like the ability to walk across the top rope,
That was
stuff
always
like
cool.
that. Um, the Undertaker had that persona, which was amazing, but he backed it up with being a terrific worker. So that's why he is one of the best ever.
Yeah, and Skeptic too. He stopped doing regular matches. He would only appear at WrestleMania to do a match or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's like one night a year working or whatever. Sometimes he would appear to do, for some reason.
Oh, he would show up in Saudi Arabia to fight Goldberg occasionally and have a terrible match where he almost got killed. But yeah, other than that, Um,
Other than that, he's fine.
yeah,
It's,
I
it's, it's
mean, but
fine.
I think the problem is like we get annoyed. We get annoyed sometimes, Skeptic, because like it's the same as if you have a favorite DVD or a favorite movie and you're like, and you collect physical media and you're like, why isn't this on 4K? Why doesn't this have like all these awesome interviews and that? It's the same sort of idea of like, why aren't you pumping this person up? Everyone wants to see them pumped up. Why aren't you doing this? Or someone's getting booed and they're a good guy, a face, and you're like, why aren't you just turning him face? Yeah,
Yeah, so he added a couple of
he
things to his
definitely like
repertoire.
he had the Devil's Triangle, which was a triangle choke at one point. Um, and he started to wear the MMA gloves to the ring.
Yeah,
Um, he definitely got influenced by the MMA stuff for sure. I think the Undertaker tried to evolve into they called him the Underbiker, like he had his biker persona for a while, but everyone just wanted classic Undertaker,
regular
which he
Undertaker.
sort of gave them after that. But there's nothing like the guy. My favorite version of the Undertaker was probably the Attitude Era Undertaker. Not the guy showing up with the purple cloth over his boots and that. Like he showed up all in black, and that's when he had Kane. Like that to me was my
Was your
version of
favorite?
like the best version of Undertaker.
Yeah,
Um,
first he had the gray gloves and the gray
yeah,
on his boots, and then he died or was gone. And then Duke the Dumpster Droese was the fake Undertaker, and then the real Undertaker had the purple, and then they just kept the purple, which was weird. It's like, I don't know, that was weird, but whatever. I always liked Undertaker. American Badass Undertaker. That was a bit weird, but it kind of still fit. And then he went back to kind of the not the very very classic, but like the sort of a good mix. Like you're saying, it's like more like black, more like not the Crow exactly, but like more black
no,
leather. Like he wasn't Raven or Sting, where it was like the Crow, but
it, it,
like
yeah, it was a sort of version of the Undertaker that evolved from the Underbiker.
right.
So not going back as J-Man said, but a version that could have evolved from the Underbiker or the American Badass, however you want to call
I don't think I was or I probably wasn't really watching that. Yeah, maybe I was watching 2007.
him.
I
I
don't
mean,
remember the years that much. Like to me, Rock. The last great stuff was Rock and Stone Cold and all that. That was Attitude. I don't know when that ended.
there's
Um,
been great stuff that's happened in between. Like they were really going well with the Nexus, but they blew that because Cena just wouldn't put them over, which was a huge mistake. Um, Edge and Cena had some great matches. Cena. There was one. I swear to God, I've never seen this before. There was one Survivor Series where it was like Brock Lesnar, the Australian dude, I forget his name, the big tall Nathan Jones,
Mm-hmm.
So it was like Nathan Jones, Brock Lesnar, Big Show, Matt Morgan, who's like 6'10". They were all on the same Survivor Series, and I was like, who is winning? Who's beating these guys? And I think it was like Kurt Angle and Cena, and I'm like, they're going to get murdered.
Yeah.
Like, there's been good stuff here and there, but like a lot of misses. CM Punk got over huge, and then they just turned him heel because that was just dumb moves. Like, there's been some good stuff, but there's been a lot of misses. They kept Cena face when everyone wanted him to turn heel. They just kept him face, kept him face, kept him face.
Now he's Peacemaker.
And now he's Peacemaker. Now he shows up occasionally and he's loved because everyone's now like, oh, we were left with Roman Reigns when Cena left, and we didn't want it. We want him less than Cena. So
I don't mind Roman Reigns. He's all right.
well, he works better as a heel. I think this character
he's way
is
better as a heel. Yeah, this is way better. This whole unification of all the titles and all that.
Yeah, like the island of what is it? He says the island of relevance or something. I
don't know.
Like, where is he coming up with this stuff?
Hey, Pat S., what is going on?
We did not.
Oh.
We did not beg a moose. Unfortunately, we would have, but the squirrel kept getting in our way.
I have not. Yeah, I don't even think like we like today was a nice day. It's gonna be minus this weekend, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah,
it's
minus this weekend
April,
is basically what
and it's gonna be like I don't know. Well, I don't know what do you guys do? They use Fahrenheit or what do they use?
They use Fahrenheit.
Pat S., are you in the? I can't remember if are you in the States or are you in Canada? I can't remember, but like, yeah. So we're Celsius or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like what minus something like. Yeah, I know you're Canadian skeptic. Yeah, yeah. I've never seen a moose either. I do like maple syrup though.
I can tell you if I ever see a moose, I'm probably running like hell in the opposite direction.
Oh, they're all friendly. They're fine.
They're friendly.
They're all friendly. Everybody's.
I've seen moose chase things. People.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I any wild animal that's bigger than me, I'm not sticking around to see if they're friendly or not. I'm out of there.
All right, well, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up there. I try to keep these under an hour. So yeah, we're gonna definitely. It's 80 degrees here. You're in New Orleans. So what's that, Steve? Do you know the conversion?
It's like I think 26 or 27.
So
maybe even higher.
Let me Google it. So I'll say what's Fahrenheit to Celsius.
Yeah.
So Fahrenheit, you said it was 80 because I'm not on that screen anymore.
Yeah.
Holy shit, 26?
Yeah, 26.
Jesus Christ. So we're going to be, so I'll tell you what we're going to be. What's it going to be this weekend, Steve? Negative? It's like, well, I'll just put 0. So it'll be 32. It'll be below
32. Yeah.
It'll be below 32 Pat S for us. Right now, it's probably like 40 or something right now.
No, it's higher. It's higher
today
because it was like 15.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it was around 59 today, but tomorrow's gonna go down.
No, not tomorrow. It's going to be
Thursday. When does it start? Thursday maybe or Friday?
The weekend.
Yeah, it'll go down. But still, like we're really. I mean, 15. It should be a little bit more than that at this time. Like I would.
Yeah, they're saying it's going to snow next week.
Like we're gonna be having snow next week. How do you like them?
That's crazy for us. Like that's weird. Yeah. New Orleans, man, nice. I haven't been there, but I've heard a lot of good stuff about the city, the French Quarter, and that. So nice.
Cool. Oh, 30. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. That's
awesome.
So we were just. Yeah, I was just telling you I was on last night. Well, you were there. So yeah, we were on last night talking about Batman versus Hulk, not Batman versus Superman. But anyway, all right, guys, I gotta end it. I'm gonna try streaming. I'm trying to figure out a way to. I can't hook my camera up to my video game system, but I'm gonna put the camera in front of the TV. I'm gonna try streaming some Joust. I might even try that
Nice.
later. I might try that later tonight and see how it looks and how it goes and see if people, because I've been trying to play Joust and see how good I am. I'm pretty like if I'm look if Xbox, if the Midway Arcade Classics version of Joust is accurate to the arcade, I'm up to 65,000 points, which is actually which would put me at the 23rd best player, going by Twin Galaxies. But the best player is at 1.7 million.
Yeah. Is it Billy Mitchell?
No, oh God, oh no, he's been found cheating. Oh yeah, Steve, you're not involved in all. Oh, he's been cheating. All his scores have been erased. He's in lawsuits now with Twin Galaxies, and he's in lawsuits with this other guy I watch. He's like in lawsuits with everybody, and it's not good. But Steve
That's
Saunders
disappointing, man.
is yeah, that's a whole nother thing. It's pretty. I still follow all that stuff. I've watched the King of Kong documentary. This is not a joke. I've probably seen it about 60 times. Like I watch it all. Whenever I need to have something on TV, I put that on.
Yeah.
I just like seeing the video games. I just like seeing the whole,
It's so. I got a book here that's like.
Yeah, I played the version of that. You can play that online.
Oh man, that's awesome. Joust is a crazy game. I was thinking there should be something where you and I
Thanks, Pat.
have a good one, Pat. I think we should live stream or do something where or shoot a video where we're playing the arcade one-ups. To be honest with you.
Oh, we could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do something like that. I can bring my tripod and just put I have a tripod and I can put this camera for streaming, or I could put I literally use my phone for
Yeah.
my X-Men videos, and it's like super clear.
Yeah.
And then this HD camera is not bad, but but I don't stream at HD. Like the camera's an HD camera, you know what I'm saying? But the stream is still at 720 or whatever. It won't stream at 1080 or 4K or whatever.
Right.
Because you have to pay the next, like you got to pay the next level in stream.
The tier. Yeah.
To the next tier, I'm like, why? Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just not worth it. But all right, guys. There's not going to be any other streams this week. I'm taking a break because of my medical problems, which hopefully will clear up pretty soon. And then we'll be back for sure next Tuesday. We're going to Skeptic. We're going to do a Batman thing with the four of us together. And we're going to do the 90s thing will be back. And we're going to Phantom Zone will be coming back as well next Saturday. So I got to have a lot of streams coming up. Oh, no, this Friday, if I'm feeling up to it, I'm going to be talking about Invasion USA on the Action Elite. So my buddy who runs the Action Elite, he's not going to do the stream if I'm not feeling well. So he literally said, he's like, I'm not doing it without you. I'm like, okay. I said, so I'm going to try to be good for it. Guys, I love Invasion USA, so we're gonna discuss that. So hopefully I'm going to be okay for that. But we'll see how it goes. All right, thanks, guys. Joe, Skeptic, Pat. All right, take care, guys.
Hey friends, you've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.